During a recession, should you expand or should you contract? Hey, this is Attorney Drew Page. Welcome to the Drew Page channel. In this video, I want to take a look at FTX and Meta and see a clash of two philosophies of how to go through a market crash or a recession based on what they are doing with their companies. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell. The news broke this morning, both relating to FTX as well as to Meta. Now, there's no dispute that the interest rates that were raised yesterday by the Federal Reserve, Chairman Jerome Powell indicated that he was doing another 75 basis point interest rate hike, and that there are at least a 75 and a 25 left heading out into the end of the year. And as a result, the market was coming down. And of course, we've seen a very steady decline since they've begun increasing the interest rates, and we've seen the stock market come down quite a bit, and we are seeing housing prices come down, and many people are proclaiming that we are in a recession or heading toward a recession, and that there is a housing crash on the horizon as well. With that being said, what do we do about it? Well, for example, Grant Cardone in his book, The 10X Rule, says to always expand, never contract, always grow, always expand. When things are dropping down, that's the time to get busy. Get busy buying, acquiring, and moving. That's a more aggressive approach. And then there's the more astute approach that would be kind of just, let's wait and see. Let's just pull our money out, hold it in cash, and we'll just kind of wait and see what happens. Or, we'll just kind of stay where we're at, or contract in what we have and say, well, let's take assets we have, let's sell it, let's lay off employees, let's scale down and cut costs. Because if we can't make money on the revenue side, if we're not going to make money on the asset side, then maybe if we cut down our liabilities, then perhaps things will work out well. It's just two different views. So this morning, CNBC had a news story, and it's been reported that FTX is trying to raise over $1 billion for acquisition purposes from its investors. According to this article, the $1 billion funding would be in addition to an already raised $400 million that they raised in January to try to snatch up market share from the crypto winter. Now, some believe that they are going to try to acquire Voyager Digital, who is looking at bankruptcy. According to this article, it says that the New York bankruptcy beleaguered Voyager Digital had an offer made by FTX, but that it was a lowball offer dressed up as a white knight seeking to rescue the company, when in fact it wouldn't be beneficial for their shareholders. But they have begun auctioning Voyager assets on September 13th. So we'll see what FTX is wanting to do. But clearly the philosophy of the CEO is to acquire. Let's raise some money. I know we're in a recession. I know that most other companies are trying to cut things down and just kind of stay the course. But let's be about, while the market's low, while we're in a crypto winter, let's go out and acquire. Let's go get. And add up our stack of assets while we're getting them at bargain basement prices. Now contrast that with Meta. Forbes reports and CNBC reports that there is a 30-day list of where Meta is going to be laying off employees, and I believe the Wall Street Journal also published one that said that they have been quietly letting employees go. This article says get rehired within a month or leave. Meta has long told certain employees whose departments got reorganized. In contrast to FTX, Meta is planning to cut 10% of its costs. They're doing this based on other social media competition, their declining growth, and their slumping stock prices. In fact, this article says that CEO Mark Zuckerberg literally said, "We are going to shrink." So that is exactly the definition of a contraction. So instead of doing like FTX, where they're acquiring and spending while things are at the bottom, instead they are going from the top line to the bottom line and cutting their costs and contracting, losing some of their employees that someone is likely going to snatch up, probably from one of the competitor social media companies, and someone else is going to end up growing while they're contracting. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg has created a 30-day list where it has weeded out its lower performing workers, but because of the contraction, performers in good standing have found themselves on this list as well. But whatever the case, Meta is clearly in trouble, and Zuckerberg he doesn't have that growth mindset that he used to have. He now has a contracting mindset. Which is better? I think that we can all agree that if you have the assets, or if you can get a loan or some sort of financing or crowdfunding or funding from investments so that you can acquire things at bargain basement prices, that's the way to go. And it's no different for us as individual investors. Anytime you see where everyone else is falling apart, that's the time to expand. So if there's a way to acquire some money, to get some funding together and buy things cheaply, that's the way to do it. So while other people are saying don't buy real estate right now, don't buy real estate, we're getting ready to be in a housing recession, I am buying a townhouse development that I'm getting from an estate. So there are deals to be found out there. You just have to know where to look for them. And when other people are just kind of, hey, I'm not ready to jump in just yet, ignore that. You just need to be focused on expanding and growing. Yet don't be frivolous. Don't waste money. If there are employees, for example, if you own a business that are not performing and they need to be gone because they're quiet quitting, or they're lazy, or they're just sitting around collecting a check, well then yeah, okay, let them go. But what you should be doing, instead of worrying about cutting people, is looking at all these companies that are getting rid of their employees and finding a way to get their A players that they're letting go of because they're trying to cut costs. And I have a feeling that's what FTX is looking to do, and that's the opposite of what Meta is trying to do. So if I had to guess, I would say that FTX is likely to win the recession against Meta. That philosophy is going to outshine this philosophy, but that's just my opinion. What do you think? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think FTX and expansion wins in a recession, or do you think Meta and cost cutting wins in a recession? Let me know down in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, and until next time, stay tuned.